Hello and welcome to NoMortgagePayment.net. My name is Charles, and today our presentation is Pay Nothing, Assume Everything. What this video is meant to do is to show you how you can purchase foreclosure properties without having good credit or without putting any money down to purchase the property. So let's get into this right now. There are lots of foreclosed properties on the market today. The real estate market is flooded with these types of properties, and there are a lot of other properties that will be foreclosed on in the years to come. Until the old mortgages run their course through this broken system, people are still going to lose their homes. Many individuals don't know how to take advantage of the current real estate market because they feel as though they don't qualify to get approved for a new home loan. People want to take advantage of these opportunities, but they're being told they don't have the cash or good credit to make these real estate purchases. There is a way for people to purchase a property without having great credit and without putting any money down. Don't give up. There is a market for properties that have been foreclosed on. Foreclosed homes are at an all-time high, and that means more properties to get at a low cost. There is a way for people to purchase a property without having great credit and without putting any money down. So how can you maximize your opportunity to get a foreclosure without any credit and no money down? The answer lies in what is called an assumption. Now, an assumption is exactly what it sounds like. It's when someone assumes your mortgage and takes over making the payments. Assumptions are great for buyers who want to purchase a property with no money down, and you don't need any great credit to get an assumption. Now, there are two types of assumption. The first assumption is a simple assumption. This is when a homeowner remains legally liable for the mortgage even after sale of a property. Your mortgage is not eliminated simply by selling your property and having a new buyer assume your mortgage payments. You are still obligated to your original mortgage agreement. The mortgage is assumed, not deleted. A simple assumption is when someone has intervened on your behalf and agreed to make your mortgage payments for you. The seller is responsible for the payments even though you have sold the property. This is great to know for the buyer, but may not be as attractive to the seller who still has a responsibility for the mortgage payments even if you default on them. That's where you can tell them about a second type of assumption. The second type of assumption is frequently called a novation. Now, novation is a legal term, and a novation is when you substitute one party in a contract with another party. This is when you put the liability entirely on the new buyer. The seller obtains a written agreement from the lender stating that the homeowner no longer has any responsibility for the property and the accountability falls on the new buyer. A novation does expose a buyer to lender's approval criteria, such as credit information and income qualifications. They are also expensive, and many lenders don't want to deal with a novation because there is a risk. You should avoid simple assumptions and only deal with novation assumptions whenever possible. Here's a simple way for you to choose which assumption to try to acquire. If you have great income credentials and fantastic credit, go for a novation. But if you have suspect credit and would not qualify for a loan with your current financial situation, always use a simple assumption. Here are some steps you should go through to try to find foreclosed properties that you want to use an assumption for. First, go to your county clerk's office or go online to your county clerk information. Search for and look through the list of properties scheduled for foreclosure. It's better to go to the office because it's always better to get to know who works in your county clerk's office, especially when you're looking to get information from them. Make sure that you check your county clerk's office to find when the new foreclosure sales are posted. Next, you should go to the property owner and discuss with them taking over their property using an assumption. Most troubled property owners who are facing foreclosure will see this as a reasonable option because it allows them to clear their record of payments that are past due and will keep their credit clear of any potential foreclosure being put onto their report. Take the time to explain this completely to the property owner. Next, check with the lender to make sure that a mortgage on a specific property is assumable. It is important that you don't get caught in a situation where you're making an assumption about a mortgage that's not assumable. Ask the lender for a loan assumption in writing. If the mortgage is not assumable, the lender might agree to the assumption despite what any of the mortgage documentation may dictate. Make sure that you take time and make certain that an assumption is okay with the lender by getting the assumption terms in writing. Make sure that you ask for an assumption without qualification. This is where you can assume the mortgage by showing that you have enough payments in your bank account available. You should make sure that you have from 3 to 6 months of payments that are accessible in your account. Next, you should have a contract agreement written up to purchase the home through a loan assumption addendum. There are specific state-approved forms for this. The current owner of the property should sign your contract, and then you need to have it sent to the lender. When the lender approves the assumption, escrow can be opened on the home. Next, you need to go to a title insurance company and apply for a title. Once you pay some fees for the title is then issued, and you can then close your deal for the property. You then have to go to a notary and complete the purchase. For this portion, you will want to have the previous owner there with you just in case something might happen. Lastly, enjoy your new property that you receive without even putting any money down. Now, instead of spending the money that you had in the bank on a down payment, you can actually use that money for your leverage in getting another property the exact same way. So remember, when you're looking to purchase a foreclosure property with no money down, think assumption. Thank you for watching Pay Nothing, Assume Everything. Again, this is Charles from NoMortgagePayment.net. We'd like for you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We're on there all the time, and we look forward to meeting you, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care until our next presentation.